but I'm happy to see everyone here today. I just wanted to give for those, particularly for the new folks, but even for the folks that have been partners in the past, a little bit of a backstory on where the internship program came from and our why it is that we do what we do. So we started our venture capital side of the house back in 2015, and we knew immediately that we wanted to develop an internship program along with the creation of our firm. And so while it took us a couple of years to get to it, we launched our first summer internship program in the summer of 2018 with 4 interns. We wanted it to be part of our DNA from the very beginning, and we had a very successful first summer. Again, it was only 4, but it went so well that we decided this was something we wanted to do and grow moving forward. Simultaneous with that, I was having conversations with the person I call the Wizard of Oz, Mara Botman, about how we could diversify the field of philanthropy and why it was so important for more foundations to have interns. And so with that conversation and with the knowledge that we wanted to grow the summer internship program we had started at Cleveland Avenue, we decided, why don't we have a summer internship program that focuses not only on venture capital, but also in the world of nonprofits and philanthropy. And so that's how we started the whole Summer Intern Citywide Foundation Internship Program, along with a few key partners that were interested in doing the same thing. So that program quickly grew to the point where it is 40 interns and 24 strategic partners funded by very generous sponsors of this internship program. And so we are thrilled, absolutely thrilled that we can see this program, the benefits of it for our students. And now I want to talk a little bit about why. Why did we want it to be so much a part of our DNA, and why is it so important? So Aaron and Taylor, thank you for sharing this slide. We know without a doubt how important internships are, more now today than ever before, in order to launch students into their eventual successful careers. 95% of employers have said that they want college graduates having at least one internship before they get to them. And so more so than ever, as I said before, having an internship is not a nice thing to have as it was when I was in school, and it's what set us apart from other students graduating. Now it is an absolute must have. There's just no way you're going to get a significant first job out of school without having an internship program. That is the first part of the why we do this, because it's so necessary now for our young people to have. The second part of our why is because we want to, in the long run, diversify what philanthropy looks like. According to a study from Bridgespan, 92% of foundation presidents and 83% of full-time team members at foundations are white. And so in order for us to do the work that we've been talking about doing for the last 2 years and the decades before that, we know that we need to see a difference in what the face of philanthropy looks like. And so our why, for why we want to introduce young people at the very early stages to this world, is so that we can see long-term diversification of what philanthropy looks like. So we want to provide young people with high quality opportunities for their internship, while at the same time matching them with potential opportunities in philanthropy, a world that many of them don't even know exists. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for those of you that have taken this journey with us. We appreciate you, and we couldn't do this work without you. And for those that might be new or considering taking this journey, I have 2 words to say to you: Aaron Smoot. Aaron was an intern with this program only a couple years ago. And as a result of that experience that he had, we were introduced to Aaron, and now Aaron is running the internship program. And so I just hold him up as an example of what is possible when we have opportunities like this for our young people. And with that, I will say thank you to our funders that are on the call with us today, and I will turn it back over to Aaron.
Thank you so much for that, Liz. I really appreciate the call out and for your own support of this work. It couldn't have been done without you. Next, I would like to ask Xiaolin Mei, a former intern, to really speak on kind of what Liz was just talking about, the importance of this work.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiaolin Mei. I also go by Lin. I did the internship last year, and my host organization was the Chicago Community Trust, and now I have a full-time job with the Chicago Community Trust. For me, I know I graduated in the pandemic and it was really hard finding a job, and I took a long time, and I was taking the internship and I was doing other jobs as well. And I think what this internship was particularly special for me and was significant for me was that it created space for me to develop a sense of self-worth, especially in a period of Zoom transaction in the pandemic where everything's just work, work, work next. I really struggled with just kind of falling back and feeling very insignificant. We always talk about kind of like entry level jobs or low tier, but then there's like interns where I really didn't feel significant. But the internship itself was very significant in creating that space where I was really learning about like different career opportunities, learning about what my working style is. And because it was also in partnership with my host organization, I was learning in comparison really how to balance that sense of self and that kind of like real life work experience. And what was really important was also learning to market myself. How do I not sell myself short? What are the great aspects about myself? And having that kind of environment, and again that space where I was surrounded by other people, we were having sessions where we just kind of like really know yourself and know your self-worth, how to market that, and especially when you're trying to apply for jobs, even really being able to sell yourself and not recognize that you're very little. And I think especially as a person of color and like in these spaces in philanthropy where like we're working with high tier executives or just people that are really big that I personally never experienced, and I never had parents that were telling me that these are the professional run of things and it's okay to really like fit in. I struggled with fitting in at work, and I think this internship really balanced that out. So I'm really grateful for this experience. Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Xiao. That was really fantastic. Really appreciate you being so vulnerable with us and sharing that, sharing your story. So thank you for that. Next up, we have Angelica Pena.
Thank you, thank you. So hello, my name is Angelica Pena, and I'm a sophomore at St. Olaf College. I worked as an intern at Cleveland Avenue under the marketing internship under the amazing Diani. Cleveland Avenue really changed my life. It showed me many opportunities that I didn't know that exist for me. And with the amazing GPS program as well, showed me how much I am a leader in my community and provided me with a voice that I didn't know that I have. And even with under the mentorship as Diani, like she is amazing, taught me that I am a leader, that I am confident, that whenever I speak, like I'm going to make an impact, which I'm very grateful for. Even with Cleveland Avenue, like thank you for changing my life because it really left an impact. And I am proud to say that I worked at Cleveland Avenue, and I'm always ranting to my friends of like, yes, this changed me and shown me so many more opportunities that I didn't even know exist. So thank you for everything, and thank you.
Thank you, Angelica. You changed us for being there and for bringing your presence and all of your positive energy. So yeah, thank you for that. That was awesome. All right, I can't top that, but I'll try my best to. And so Mrs. Thompson did a really fantastic job of really talking about the organization's kind of history, and now kind of bring it back to last summer. Last summer, we had 24 partner organizations, which totaled to 40 interns, which was our largest and most diverse cohort to date. We're really, really excited about this, and this growth has been consistent. From 2018 to 2021, we have grown each and every single year. The top right screen will show you a few different logos of organizations that we've partnered with to really show you the breadth and the depth of organizations that we work with. And the bottom right screen will really show you one of our virtual gatherings, having a lot of fun as we always do at the internship program, and really just enjoying ourselves. These other numbers, the 26 to 14 female to male ratio, just to show you kind of like our breakdown, as well as our intern satisfaction score. I'll talk a little bit more about our satisfaction score, but I want you all to know that we're really trying to dive into data-driven analytics, really trying to understand our interns' experiences through their survey and through their words. I talked a little bit about program refinements. All the program refinements are intended to really increase this internship satisfaction score, and it's because of the intern survey information. 8.6 was on a scale from 1 to 10. So we're really excited about this baseline score, but we're even more excited to see how far it can really grow. Next slide, please. This one is an awesome kind of tribute video that we did at the end of our 2021 internship program. It's really meant to show you all kind of how we celebrate, how we uplift, and really how we really try to celebrate our interns for their great accomplishments. This was at our finale reception party, so I hope you enjoy. We won't run through the whole video, but just a little snippet to let you all see what we do here.
Hey everyone, my name is Dia Alada, and I'm currently part of the CAFE group as a CAFE student fellow this summer. Last year, I served my internship as a CA Leads intern at Cleveland Avenue, and I'm so proud to call myself an alumna of the Citywide Foundation Internship Program. Through last summer's internship, I learned how to build a professional network and how to conduct myself with confidence and maturity in the workplace. I was shown that my ideas were valuable and that nobody is, quote, just an intern. I'm so happy and grateful that I was given the opportunity to return to the CAFE group this summer, and I would like to extend the biggest thank you to the team and everyone at the CAFE group for welcoming me back. We'd like to start off this party by thanking all 24 partner organizations for hosting our wonderful interns. We're so fortunate to have a diverse set of partner organizations, which gives your interns a holistic and enriching experience. Thank you. Interns, congratulations on your completion of the Citywide Foundation Internship Program, and congratulations on gaining a set of skills that will help launch your successful careers. We're so excited to see what comes next on your journey, and we hope that you'll stay in touch. Because while your involvement in the Citywide Foundation Internship Program might be coming to an end, the support you will receive from the CAFE group is just beginning. Now, we would like to take this time to recognize and thank each and every one of our interns.
I was on mute. Thank you for that, Taylor. Really appreciate it. And down to the next slide. Perfect. So we really got to see like how we celebrate our interns, and now we're moving on to the program refinements. I think the biggest refinement is that we changed our name between last summer and today. So we are no longer Citywide Foundation Internship Program. Today, we are the LEAD program. I think some of you all remember we did a bunch of different naming competitions throughout the summer and the fall to really come up with a new name. And we kept coming back to our goals while kind of searching for this name. Really what we wanted this name to represent, how we wanted it to represent us, and what we wanted people to take away from it. So we came to this acronym LEAD, which stands for Leadership, Experience, Access, and Development. Each of these words really goes back to our goals. So leadership really combines with introducing students to career opportunities in the foundation community. Students, interns, will be showing their leadership skills through different team projects, whether being the lead on a project or whether being a teammate on a project and working inside that organization. And they'll get that experience, which is the next word, and diversifying the pipeline of talent in the foundation community. So these interns are going to have a foundation, a nonprofit, a for-profit organization attached to their resume because they got that experience from the LEAD program. That is really going to allow them to be in better positions and better for jobs or their next high-level internship experience. So that really connects with experience. A stands for access, and that's a real cornerstone of our program. We're all about networking, expanding social capital for student participants. That's one of the best selling points, I think, of the program is all of the amazing partners that are a part of this organization. You can have people in philanthropy, some nonprofit organizations, but that social capital aspect also within the cohort, as well as the program organizations, really makes our program so strong and so unique. And D is for development. And again, another cornerstone of our program. I know some of you all have been through this program before, but we have an extensive program elements sheet that really provides high quality programming. We teach them soft skills, real world experiences, and tangible work skills that they can take to their next, wherever they go, school, work, internship. They'll take that with them from this program. So very excited about the new name. Here is another list of refinements that I'll kind of break down in this order: the data-driven feedback, which I promised a little bit earlier, the cohort team building, time, talent, and treasure. So for those of you who have been with us and those of you that haven't been with us, what does it cost? What's the time commitment? What does it take to be a part of this program? The lead candidate profile. How do I get an intern if I am interested in doing all this? And then D&I sessions and intern participation. I'll kind of break all of those down into bite-sized pieces. So I know I talked a little bit about this earlier, but the data-driven feedback is something that we're super excited about. We already showed you our average overall experience score, but we're even more excited to really dig into this survey data with our interns. We want our internship program to really reflect what interns say they want and what they say they need out of this program. So in the coming year, we're going to be making sure that we have surveys for each of our programs so that the interns can tell us what they liked about the program, what they wanted to change about the program, something that they got from it that they didn't expect, and maybe even something that they just didn't know beforehand. So we're really excited to share that out. We're also going to be starting to really survey managers as well. We know this is a two-way street and you all do a lot of the heavy lifting. So we want to be the best partners as possible to make sure that we can help you all out throughout this process. We'll also kind of cover managerial relationships, cultural sensitivity, and professional development, but extremely excited to be really digging into this data-driven feedback lens with you all. The next one is cohort team building. Throughout the surveys, we got a lot of responses about either how much they liked the cohort team building or the fact that they didn't get enough of that team building aspect because it was virtual. Luckily, at CA in the cafe group, we did have kind of a hybrid system going on during the summer. So I was able to take some of our interns out to the Chicago Sky game, who won the WNBA championship this past year. So go Sky. It was an awesome time. Angelica was actually there, as you see. It was a great time. And it was an awesome time to just build and connect socially outside of that professional development aspect, which also really serves in that regard. In this upcoming year, we're really going to be focusing on continuing that, whether that's virtual or in person. We're going to have different avenues to continue that, whether that's game night or movie nights, riverwalk, kayaking. So we have a lot in store for this upcoming year, and we really are excited for you all to be joining us with that. Next is the time, talent, and treasure slide. So this is really about what it takes to have an intern, what it takes to be in there. So for time, we require interns to work 40-hour work weeks and for them to have 100% participation in all of our program elements. I'll show you a calendar list later, but that is kind of what the timing is for that intern. Talent, this is more for the intern managers. So the first one is mentorship opportunities. Your intern is your intern. So you are going to be checking in with them, giving them assignments, giving them access to all the people at your organization and really working with them while they're in our cohort. So that's really going to be on the manager to really kind of moderate and see how they feel and do, but that is going to be on that intern manager. The next one is the skill building opportunities. This is really about the type of work that the intern will be receiving. So we really want interns to have skills and having work that they can put on their resume. We want them to be working and developing a skill that entire time. Not necessarily, we don't want them to be getting coffee. We don't want them to be working a fax machine. We want them to be having skills and something that they can talk about at their next interview or put on their next resume. And really, I know that this might be a more difficult task for some organizations than others. And the cafe group is here to assist with that. We have resources of different project templates. We have resources as far as how to check in with interns. We've been doing this for a while and we've stockpiled a lot of things that we know works. And so we are here to assist. If you need any help, any resource, any reassurance that your organization can do this, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. And we're very excited to help you out with that.
Aaron, can I pop in here for just a quick second? I know that this is, sometimes can be very intimidating for potential organizations that are like, I don't have enough work for an intern to do, or I don't have time to check in with an intern all the time. That is a very common reaction. And so, as Aaron said, we have begun to collect typical projects that organizations have interns working on, people that didn't think they could do it at the beginning either. And so please lean on us when you come to that, if you come to that point where you say, I would take one on, except I don't know what I might have them do. Or I want to bring an intern back, but I'm not sure I can handle them this year. Please lean on us for sample projects, group projects that they can work on. And I don't mean just, mamby-pamby work. I mean, real tangible work that our interns worked on across organizations last year. And we can help you with that. It's not as heavy a lift as it might seem. Thanks, Aaron.
Of course, thank you. And last but definitely not least is treasure. So the only cost of the program is the pay that you give to your interns. And we require that you pay your interns a minimum of $15 an hour. That is the minimum. You can definitely pay them more, but we require that it is at least $15. Then this slide is really talking about the lead candidate profile. So program partners, you all, your organizations are responsible for recruiting interns. If candidates are needed, if you need a little help with that, we can help provide organizations with students to interview. We also do kind of like this running list in case, like, so let's say an organization has 2 really outstanding candidates, but only 1 position. If you pass along their name and their information, we will make sure to circulate that across our program organizations to make sure that that student, that intern finds a great home with a partner organization. So let's make sure everybody finds a great internship for the summer. And we're really happy to help everyone out with that. Some notable organizations that we use are Chicago Scholars, Academy Group, Greenwood Project, and Braven. Chicago Scholars is a nonprofit that selects, trains, and mentors academically ambitious students from under-resourced communities to complete college and become the next generation of leaders who will transform their neighborhoods and our city. The Greenwood Project opens career pathways in the financial services industry for Black and Latinx students. They partner with companies to find equitable and inclusive solutions for recruiting, retention, and advancement. And Braven empowers promising, underrepresented young people with the skills, confidence, and experiences and networks necessary to transition from college to their first strong job. This is our required DE&I session slide. So we have partnered with Julian Grace and the Kaplan Foundation, and we found Patty Oji, who comes highly, highly, highly recommended. She's a co-founder, executive coach, and consultant in DE&I work. And like I said, she's worked in many different areas from nonprofit, for-profit, and philanthropic organizations. And she comes highly recommended. She's the best. We've had a bunch of meetings with her already, and she seems amazing. These required sessions will start in April. So April 21st is going to be about institutional welcoming, May 12th on managing cross-racial lines, and July 8th on building equitable partnerships. This is really meant to level set and give everybody a baseline of skills to welcome their interns and students of color, to make sure that they are well received and to put them in the best positions to succeed. That's all this is about. And we're extremely excited to be working with you all through this to really, set our interns up for success. So very excited about it. This is the ever-promised internship program calendar that I was referring to a few slides back, but I'm not gonna go through all of this, and Taylor is actually gonna post in the chat a link so you all can see and don't have to squint to find this. But this is our plan of action for the summer. So our start date is June 6th, and our end date is August 12th. That's a 10-week program with 8 weeks of programming in between. And the first and last week are for onboarding and offboarding. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through this entire list, but I will point out a few really notable programs that we have. The first one is our kickoff event. That one, we're planning for it to be in person, depending on the CDC and COVID. But that one is going to be lots of fun, lots of food, lots of games in our CA parking lot. So outside type of a barbecue feel, and it really meant to welcome our interns and to give them that welcome home type of feeling. The last one is our final internship reception party. And that one is going to be of a similar note, a kind of like a farewell. Thank you for all your great work. A lot of food, a lot of games, really just having a great time with our interns, and really just thanking them for all the work they've done. Next, that I think is super important, is the DISC assessment. So for those who are kind of unfamiliar with DISC, DISC assessments are work productivity tests. So they really frame how you work, how you collaborate with other people, and it'll also do the same for your intern. So it's a great time to really sit down with your intern and say, hey, I like to do things this way. I like to have check-ins twice a week. And your intern can be like, okay, that's great. And I'd like to, do research on my own and come back with my findings. So really just being able to sit down and have that conversation about how you work with your intern. The other one that I like to point out is our My GPS session. There's 3 sessions. My GPS stands for My Guided Pathway to Success. It is one of our rave reviewed programs every single year. Everybody that's been through it that I know loves it. And it's really all about thinking about your career, thinking about 20 years from now, where do you want to be in your career and what steps do you take to get there? It's a really awesome session. And it's really great because a lot of these students at this time probably don't have career coaches yet or have talked to their advisors about what their dreams are so far. So watching them kind of go through that process is really, really interesting, and it's really fulfilling. And last but not least is our CEO panel. This panel is, this is a great panel discussion where we get 3 CEOs of color to come in and really share their story, give us some advice, some things they would do again, some things they wouldn't do again. And it's a really great opportunity to listen and understand how they got there and really trying to model that. That session is actually going to be open to managers as well, because we think it's such a really fulfilling and rich panel discussion. Last year, we had Jeffrey Beckham Jr. from Chicago Scholars. We had Shelley Davis from the Coleman Foundation, and we had Mr. Don Thompson from Cleveland Avenue LLC. So yeah, a really full jam-packed list. The other thing I'd like to make a note about is that managers do not have to attend all of these sessions. This looks like a whole lot if managers had to be involved in every single one. So we'll provide correspondence to all the events that managers will have to go through. Looking at it just briefly, I would say that there's probably no more than 4 or 5 sessions that managers would have to come to. So this is all going to be on the cafe group and managers making sure that their interns are present at these programs. Perfect. Last but not least are the important dates. So today, January 19th is our open house. So thank you all for coming once again. April 1st is our organization commitment. That means that we need to know that your organization is going to host an intern by April 1st. That will give us time to set up for our DEI sessions and DEI training and give us kind of a round number for what we need to prepare for the summer. April and May is when those DEI trainings will start. We'll make sure that everybody has calendar invites and Zoom links for those. So do not worry, we'll make sure that's in right on time. May 1st is our intern information submission deadline. That just means that you need to give us basic information, email, school they go to, just so we have logistics squared away on our side. And last but not least, June 6th is the start of the program, and then we're there. All right, I know I just talked a lot, and I said a lot of things that are very important to intern managers. So I think it is best served if we hear from one of our own intern managers from last year, Miss Sydney Sidwell.
Hi, everybody. So many familiar faces. I feel like I wish we were all in the same room together. I miss you all so much. The first thing I have to say is the Fry Foundation is kind of a lean, mean little machine. And we could not do this without the cafe group. We probably wouldn't have stepped into this space. And we certainly wouldn't have been as successful without the support of the cafe group. So if you're at all nervous about this, give me a call. They have made it really, not just, I don't want to say easy, but such a smooth process, and also created content around it that's really, really valuable for both the intern and the intern manager. We've done this 3 years now, so we've had 3 interns. Each amazing. We have learned so much from the young people that we are working with over the summer. They challenge us in ways that, you know, we need to be challenged. And so it's just been a really great learning experience. One of the things I'd say is the summer works really well for us. I know this is just kind of the Fry Foundation, but we have a full grant cycle that starts June 1st and ends the end of August. And so in some ways we throw our interns in feet first, and they do the work. They partner with us as program officers. So they go on site visits with us. They do at least one write-up. They do a board presentation. The summer of the racial reckoning, we, like a lot of foundations, we're trying to kind of figure out how to be helpful and respond appropriately in that moment. Our intern was a lead on a set of racial reckoning grants that we had never worked like that before. And she really, was the taskmaster, making sure that we were doing good research, good due diligence on these organizations, and really had a lot of value add. The other thing I would just say is we recruit from our grantees. So we have a set of academic enrichment grantees. We have more good candidates than we can serve. So if anybody needs candidates, call me. We're going to start recruiting. We're going to send the job description out March 1st, if not sooner. And then, yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's become it's something that we look forward to every year now. So once again, thank you to the Cafe Group for making this project that we can be a part of.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Your partnership is not taken lightly. We truly appreciate you being such a wonderful intern manager and also coming here and speaking on our behalf. So thank you again for that. We truly appreciate you and all of our partners for making this such a success. With that, I'm going to open up the floor to questions. I saw a few in the chat. I don't know if we got to all of them. So I guess we can start there and then kind of move our way to any just like freehand questions.
Yeah, Aaron, so the first question was about the pay, and is $15 an hour being the minimum, but do we know what the average pay is for our interns?
I know in 2020, the average pay for, this is not specific to this internship program, but nationwide, the average pay was around $20 an hour.
Okay, all right. I think this is a good question for us. And to the degree that our partners feel comfortable sharing this information, this is something that we'll want to start collecting so that we can let potential partners know, hey, 15 is the minimum, but just so you know, looks like $20 is more the average of what we're paying our interns. So we will make a commitment to start collecting that information to the degree that our partners feel comfortable sharing that. And then Aaron, the next question was about part-time. Can we make part-time work? And I needed to amend the answer that I put in there saying that, I'm not sure if we can make it work with all of the programming we have for our interns, but it turns out it's already working for a number of our organizations. So Janice, thank you for letting us know that. And the same for Rachel. You guys are making this work beautifully, it sounds, for 20 hours a week or even 30 hours a week for our interns, and allowing the interns to do the full programming in addition to that. So Janice, can I just ask you to pop in and share what your experience with that has been?
Yeah, sure. So we had our intern last year, Andrea, was amazing and very good with her time. So she did work 20 hours a week, and we made sure to prioritize all cafe meetings. So cafe meetings took precedence above everything else. So we made sure those got on her calendar first and foremost. We moved things around if we needed to so that she could attend. And also we were really, really flexible with her time. you know, because it was kind of a hybrid, she did actually come in person sometimes when it worked for her, and she was virtual. You know, we were mostly in the office, but we kind of allowed that that flexibility for her. And we didn't have a set schedule. Like one week it was very different from the next week. So we just made sure we kind of talked through it, you know, a couple weeks out. If she had something that she couldn't work on a Friday, then she didn't work on a Friday. You know, we were really, really, really flexible. I know not everyone has that luxury, but because we're such a small foundation, there's only 4 staff, it worked well for us. And we were able to do that for her. So I see that, you know, happening moving forward with this year's intern as well.
That's awesome. Thank you, Janice. Rachel, can you chime in and let us know how yours worked?
Yeah, for sure. So we did 30 hours a week just because from our family office, they said that that was like the right threshold for us. So we didn't have to provide benefits. I'm sure that that's not necessary, like whatever. I can figure out that side of it. But anyway, we did 30 hours a week, and we did have a pretty set schedule with flex within that based on the way it was. And we also did like a team approach to managing our interns. We do that every year where we assign a different team member that week. And there's specific projects that intern's working on each week. They have like an overarching manager, and that manager comes with them to the programming for all the cafe programming where the managers are there to support. And then we kind of did that flexibility throughout. And part of the other reason we did that 30 hours is because in the summer, we end up like that's some of the times where some of our team takes off. And so it actually helped to give a little flexibility with vacation. So they didn't ever feel like they were, you know, left to their own, you know, without support if some of us were on vacation. But yeah, so we made it work with 30 hours a week with the flexibility. And sometimes really what we would even do that is like they would start at 10 versus 9. Things like that just gave a little bit of an extra flexibility and wiggle room. But again, ensuring the first thing that we always did is we developed a shared calendar, and all of the cafe events were put on there, and then everything else was worked around that.
Great. Thank you so much, Rachel. Aaron, back to you.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I know one thing that's on people's mind right now is this notion of, are we going to be in person? Are we going to be virtual? Last year, I will say that we started off with the notion that we would be virtual at Cleveland Avenue. I'm talking about specifically at Cleveland Avenue and at the cafe. And what we found was I would come into the office and I would start seeing, you know, 1 intern, and then I'd start seeing 2 interns, and then I'd start seeing 5 interns. And next thing I know, there were 8 interns in the office. And it just turned out, and maybe Angelica can speak to this, it turned out the interns liked being in the office. And so we had a very flexible policy around that. But Angelica, you want to speak a little bit about that? And also Xiaomei, if there's any observation you want to add as well.
Yeah, for sure. I would say while going into the office, it was amazing. Like just thinking of like just hanging out with everyone like Ade, Leah, Aaron, and all of them. It was really amazing to work in person and having like collaboration of ideas instead of like, hey, like, can you hop on a Zoom? It was more of like, hey, meet me here, go downstairs, let's talk about it. It was a really amazing opportunity, just like going in Cleveland Avenue and working with ambitious people.
For me, I did one day in person starting the summer. It was really nice, but it was back when our office was still remote, and it was just me and my manager that was coming in person, and whoever wanted to show up. But it felt really weird because the whole office was empty. I saw like maybe 2 people max daily. I think it really depends on your needs. For me, I was coming in because I had some work to do, and that was in person. But gotta adapt with the times. It was good to go in, but it was also kind of because after a while being remote, it felt really transactional. It was just kind of, you need me for something, that's what we're going to talk about. There was not really that in person, and I could even feel the relationship between me and my manager, and that's why we started talking about like we should do some in-person sessions. Was because I think that relationship building aspect was really lacking.
Thank you so much. So I think to the degree that you can provide some in-person experience for the intern, I think it elevates their experience. I just don't think there's any question about that, but we do understand everyone has different processes and modes of operation in their organization. And so I'll just ask you to work with your intern as best possible to provide a hybrid experience if possible, in order to really get them the maximum benefit.
Absolutely. We had another question in the chat, I believe, from Danny, asking about, is the program focused on rising sophomores? And Liz got to this before I was able to write my response, but yes, Danny, our sweet spot is rising sophomores. That is not a requirement, but our programming is designed and really, we believe, most beneficial for students in that rising sophomore time period. A lot of our curriculum, My GPS, and a few other sessions, we think really have the most benefit for students at that time.
And again, as Erin said, that remains our sweet spot. Not to say that we don't welcome students that may be rising juniors, but we do just want to be focused on the fact that some of the older students might find some of the programming redundant for them. We gotten feedback before that, hey, I went through this 2 years ago. So we want this experience to be beneficial, optimally beneficial. And so we say our sweet spot is the rising sophomore. But when we talk about things like My GPS or the CEO panels or things like that, that's programming that is beneficial for all students across the board. So while some things may not be focused in the right area, if you have older students as interns, I think the overall experience can still be beneficial. So if you find a student that you think, oh my, look, Aaron was a graduate student when he went through the program. So case in point, it's not necessarily going to be for everyone, but there are components that will be beneficial for whoever you bring onto your staff.
Awesome, thank you, Liz. Any other questions? Okay, perfect. Well, I'll just say this. Thank you again to all of you for taking time out of your super busy days. We know 4 o'clock, y'all are ready to shut down for the day. So really appreciate it. Thank you again. And if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be doing check-ins and emailing you all on my own time. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know how we can best support you as you continue to make this decision going into kind of the spring and into the summer. And yeah, the Cafe Group is here to help support and really here to continue this mission and drive this. So if you need anything, you can reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat, but you probably have that, and we'll go from there. Thank you all again.
Thanks everyone for joining us. And we're gonna have another one of these sessions. So if you know of other organizations that maybe couldn't join us today or where this has not been on their radar, we're going to have another session in late February to introduce the program to other organizations. So be on the lookout for that date, and please ask your other colleagues to join us for that. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Take care.